Today in this video we'll be talking about this. Yes, this. Why? I don't know. So let's get started. Microsoft opens up exFAT file system technology and wants it in Linux. Oh my god, this is a deal. This is a deal breaker. Microsoft is going to love Linux. I don't know why. Just stop. Stop there. Whenever Microsoft does something, they do have something in mind. They do want our money. That is it. You don't believe me? What if I say that exFAT is already in Linux? It is already in Linux and it's already implemented without any bugs, any instability whatsoever. And its version has already moved past 1.3. Would you believe me? I think you won't. So let me show you. Okay, so lsblk slash dev slash sde. So this is actually a USB drive which has 8 GB size. Let's try formatting it. mkfs.exFAT. Okay, that command seems to exist. Let's dv slash sde and let's give a root access. Okay, that seemed to work. Let's try mounting that. Sudo mount slash dv slash sde slash mnt. Okay, so fuse exFAT 1.3.0, it seems to have mounted it. Okay, it is there, df minus s dot, and yeah, it seems it is there. What if we do df minus I dot? Okay, that is all looking good. What if we do du minus hs not du, df minus th dot? Okay, the type is fuse block. Okay, what if we do blk id minus lsblk, not blk id, lsblk minus f slash dv slash d. Oh man, that's exFAT. How is it even possible? What if we do something like gparted slash dv slash sde? Okay, gparted is opening for sure. Scanning all the devices. Let us scan. Okay. 7.3 GB. Oh man, it's exFAT. Oh, how is it possible? Microsoft just released, just released. How can they just add that? And how can they just come up with version 1.3 already? How can they? Actually, the thing is, it's already there. FAT is file allocation table. So let's talk about FAT. You can say FAT is actually 8-bit, and nowadays we call FAT32. That is 32-bit FAT, and there has been multiple iterations like this. And what it has is it is a file allocation table. It has a allocation table, and it has a file name, and it has a first block and block size at last. So what it does is you have a linked list, you have a linked blocks basically. It is one block will point to another, and you can traverse the linked block to read the whole file. And this thing is totally a bad implementation if I tell you, because this will be like totally a nightmare, fully fragmented. And I don't want to even start talking about like 4 GB file size limit. And there is also many more issues like no journaling. There are like millions of issues with fat. But fat is really stable. It is working fine. Everything works. It just works. So if you don't care about the 4 GB limit, then it's good. Pops your uncle, right? If you do exFAT, it is actually extended fat basically. So it's fat. It's just fat. This is basically the same thing. If you check here, you can see linked list allocation. Like there is also binary map, so bitmap, and that is basically it. Like there is nothing more actually. Only thing that is more is like you can have bigger names because this is super bit, and you can have a bigger size formatted, and you can also have bigger file sizes inside. But anyway, why? Like this is all good, but why? Why am I saying this why so many times? Because it's kind of annoying. This is why Linux developers go crazy. Like you have so many file systems already. ext4, ext2, ext3, brtfs. There are like millions of file systems that Linux supports. Most of the file systems are pretty good for USB drive, and also NTFS is also uh, one of the file system formats which basically Linux supports and also Windows supports. But the problem is NTFS is really complex. You can't just reverse engineer a very complex thing. Like you can, but you won't be as good as if you have the real documentation for it. So the NTFS is kind of unstable in Linux. Like it is not like you won't run into issues. If you do FSEK also, it won't be fixed 100%. You should do a check disk in a PC, I guess, like Windows PC. But yeah, anyway, you can kind of see that NTFS 3G does support Linux drivers. But yeah, you can kind of see that this does have all the features which FAT lacked. So can we actually format this USB drive with NDFS? And let's sudo that. And yeah, so it is saying that it can't just work with the whole file system. You have to partition it. So let's partition it, right? So let's call uh, uh, fdisk /d/d. Let's go for an MBR kind of setup here. So new partition, primary, and default first sector, last sector, and let's go type, list all the codes, and let's go for ms basic data, which if I do C will be good. It is not so not there. Like I can't see it. So let's go with C. Okay. Uh, anyway, write the changes to disk, and just do that, and after that mkfs SSD1, and oh man, that is getting formatted to NTFS using Linux. Okay, so the Linux does supports NTFS. So that raises the question, why? Okay, so Linux supports NTFS, Linux supports exFAT, Linux supports FAT, Linux supports ext2, ext3, ext4. Linux supports these all things. Then why there is a need to release the documentation for exFAT? Because we already reverse engineered it. Like why? The only thing I can see is they want to integrate Windows with Linux, and they are trying to gain control of Linux step by step, and this is one step in it. And I like one article which basically said this, uh, and I will link this down below. In this article, basically, it says a single thing, that is, um, actually, I do have the quote. I did get the quote from this. So see here. Microsoft dominated media is trying to tell us Linux do not need exFAT. By adopting exFAT, Linux would become more closely connected to and tightly controlled by Microsoft. So that is exactly what Microsoft wants. It wants to tightly control Linux environment. And I don't know. This is the step. This is the first step, and the steps should be going on and on and on. Microsoft is always going for the money. They are always going for the money. They won't help open source community. They won't support open source community unless there is some money business in it. And yeah, open source is not about money. I do so many projects open source. It's not for the money. It's for the self satisfaction. And you guys have to decide if Microsoft has to get away with these kind of things, fooling people into saying like, okay, it's fat. We are opening all the patents. Tell them, don't just open exFAT. It is simple. Open the file system requirements and file system specifications for NTFS. Now let's talk. So thank you for watching this video. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't like it, of course. And yeah, don't do that, I guess. Go to the comment section and tell me your ideas about this topic. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.